Tiny Spoon is especially excited to announce the official release of our 8th issue, Cut, Copy, Paste, the Original. The editors have been scheming this 2-part collaborative experiment for some time, and we're beyond thrilled to finally see it coming to fruition. Pieces from issue 8 will be, as the name suggests, cut, copied, and pasted in various ways for issue 9, the remix. We are incredibly grateful for the quirky, surreal, sentimental, and daring work, as always, from our contributors. To celebrate, a few of them will share their work in our release reading. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, Tiny Spoon. My name is Cathie Borrie, and I live in North Vancouver, BC, Canada, and I'm sharing the screen with Raven, who insisted, as ravens do, in being front and center, or at least to the side. Tonight, I am very happy to be sending along a reading of 3 poems that were accepted by Tiny Spoon for the submission regarding cut, copy, and paste. What I did is I took the submission page text and I sculpted out 3 poems, and then I put them in little origami envelopes and sent them off. So I'm very, very happy to be able to read these to you tonight. I do think that this is the most, Raven took the piece of paper I'm reading from and hid it on me. Ha ha, Raven. And I do think this is the most beautiful literary press in the whole world. These staff are full of respect and kindness and love and thoughtfulness, and man, that's hard to find. So I really appreciate them. These are my 3 haiku, and they are titled Bite-Size Haiku. Dismantle all truth, create collaboratives of iteration. Collage in new ways, pieces of cut, copy, paste, then see what happens. Elemental texts find a home in the genre of tiny wonders. I love the process of creating poetry through sculpting text that's already in existence. Often the words are eraser or erasure, however people like to say it, or found poems, but I don't erase and I don't find. It's something that Annie Dillard's done with the whole book, and Yeats has done. The long history of pulling out of text something brand new that you wouldn't even recognize from the original text, and I love it dearly. So thank you, Tiny Spoon, for the honor of being able to present what's inside here and here and here and put it out into the world. I'm very grateful. Raven, are you grateful?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I'm not a ventriloquist.
This is Apocalypse Next Tuesday. A 1-act pantomime by A.B. Wasalinko. An index of characters. The wind, mockingbird, a mockingbird, not to be confused with a magpie. Bee, a bumblebee, benevolent in demeanor. Bee's panic, a bit of a showboat. A suggestion of place, a stage in transition, a declaration of time, extended yet irrelevant, a forever Tuesday. The scene plays out. A ketchup bottle falls off the counter and the lid shoots off like a bullet from a gun. The cap breaks a fist-sized hole through a pane of glass. The wind barges in from stage left, throwing streamers over the exposed wooden roof beams. They are suspended by air and pure willpower. Mockingbird squeezes through the hole unharmed, and Bee enters stage right, rubbing sleep from his eyes. Mockingbird takes advantage of Bee's delirium and begins to croak like a frog until Bee's panic falls out of his ears and dances across the stage. Mockingbird and Bee's panic land in a spotlight. Bee's panic joins hands with the wind as Mockingbird continues to croak.
B begins to sob, and his tears echo through the entire room. A recommendation for sound. B sobs are left to directorial interpretation. Consider the following: rainbows dissipating, keys locking a door, footsteps walking away, a phone ringing while you're on the other line, a dove waiting for its tardy partner, sirens 5 blocks away, your love snoring, drawers closing, my car's engine trying to stay alive. They gather in a puddle and mix with the mound of ketchup spilling from the bottle. End scene. This has been Apocalypse Next Tuesday.
Secrete Words by Jedediah Smith. A slug had learned a spell in the human fashion. The other slugs and snails debated his achievement. A mutation, no doubt, said one. Delusions of grandeur, offered another. Overcompensation. Latent horizontality. Perhaps the consumption of genetically modified eggplant, a third opined. The slug had begun simply, tracing single letters on an ortho-pesticide box left by the garden. He slid over black, blocky O's and W's, leaving a thick trail of snotty slime, drying to scalloped edge figures like a fancy font. Perhaps too early he attempted to solo, creating letters of his own devising that struck the other slugs like occult symbols, the residue of some night demon visitation. But in very little time, as measured by the sesquiannual gastropod, the slug had mastered the slithy S and the cuspidillar M. Words secreted within, outed during the night to dry silvery crystalline on the sidewalk by day. He began insisting other slugs call him Professor. They scorned him. You are a hack, an imitator, a plagiarist, they said. You stand not on your own, but leech on the shoulders of giants. You make nothing original. Gall drove the slug to form letters into words, words into sentences, sentences into aphorisms. The brain evolves by will, he wrote on the patio next to the poop scoop. Energy transmutes matter into the numinous, he scribed on a headless doll left out in the yard. Mine is the truer art, he told the other slugs. My words recapitulate the protein of my flesh. The mucus boostrafidins spiral from the meat of my being smeared upon the world. By comparison, the giant's words are arbitrary, holy ghosts, wispy memories of signifieds that never were. Let us all praise the new slug prose, he wrote. Let us all immerse in the shared slime of our body of literature.
Hi, I'm Oormila, and this is Death Dream in Purple. When the cicadas fell silent, I studied the shape of my hands, moonlit, watched their edges blur and bleed. I dreamt of what it was like to disintegrate, curled fetal in the peaceful folds of a muslin wrap. From within the dark pith of my capsula mundi, I watch spring paint blooms on lasiandra trees, purples lush against the Egyptian blue of the night. This was how I always saw the end. Cells weeping, iridescent, seeping through soil, atoms coursing up the fledgling roots of spring's lasiandra saplings, in a dawn where the afterlife stretched like a rippleless ocean, the shade of African violets.
Reproduce. They want it dimpled and firm, soft, round, exotic, smooth, juicy but not too wet, sweeter, cheaper, wrapped in plastic like Laura Palmer. Over the sound system, a song about immaculate conception. Seedless, they don't want that grit in their teeth. Misgivings. I can't say the word summer without hearing melon. Can't say the word mother without hearing moon. It is always a Sunday when she wears her dresses. It's always the summer. I'm waiting for you favor peaches like I did, the thick damp of stone fruits. In Russian, the difference between apples and clouds. And if she couldn't unhaunt those mountains, how can I? Can't look at my belly without mouthing eclipse. Clean. When the world finally ends, I'm ahead of the curve. 100 years ago, Lysol was sold as a vaginal cleanser. I scrub my hands raw. It is never enough. My love is antiseptic. Wallow in me. I will turn your hair green. My mother always told me not to use so much peroxide on my wounds. I didn't know how to tell her I like the way it scars. Caustic, she said, another ardor shipwrecked on the dangerous reef of feminine hygiene. I am, at last, denatured.
Knotted, purple, strained, there are dents wearing future into me. I was born out of death and slammed into the shoreline, concussive and screaming. Hope marked me first, slashed promise wounds into my face, smiled at my shame, vanished giggling around the bend, beckoning and flirtatious. Staunch pressure constrained, skittering eyes traveling on, imagination more mobile than my legs, this cruel and formidable life that sunrises, mines out of darkness and flings them from the sky, mangled and uninhabitable.
The fancy dress is hung. The wedding ring is lost. It was cold and it rained. He felt like an actor. Middle-aged middleman, he thought he might walk away for a while to try his broken hand at lack of commitment, cake, consideration. Perhaps, at last, an arc. He hesitated, then did not, and quietly set out to try it in a different key. His wife asleep, still, to his latent, then not so latent, fuss. Joking about girlfriends, I left the doors unlocked. To me he was spring still, pink blooms, roses, cooking in a kitchen, waving in a driveway, looking immaculate on his way out, to work. I did not know back then about that parking lot. The parking lot, the mangoes and the lies came to me all at once by night. I spoke into his eyes words of panic-stricken attachment. Then I broke all the cups, frightened our small children. Oh no, don't say it's true. A devotion repeated. Passion first, then a dreary tension, an ache which we could not sustain. He gazed, a gazeless stare, and talked as though he was not there. stabbed by his sighing, the shrieking of nothing, his lack of effusion swirling in empty streets. I made my way back home, struggling to find my place as nobody's wife. Before, elsewhere, he declared us best friends. I heard the sound of mandolins, of pangolins, a trampoline of joy, such heights of pleasure, only outmeasured by the depth of his funk. Next time I'll try it in a normal key. Pond, reflecting, the nest of wasps, a delicate paper, heat bleached in white, thin wings of paper seeds, in thousands, white dresses of tulle, of transparency. We aim for life, we aim for a distant chance to remake our mother, a tree giving, now given. Pond, reflecting, our mother, a tree meticulous, gift of her saps, wings. We are winged and prepared to fly, a helix, a plane, line of the wind which we follow to more, to else, to home, an unknown arrival. And like a cicada, a seed ends wing, then turns larva.
Dream state. A quarter-second nap, slumber with a key to access the point between sleep and wakefulness, muscle paralysis and the hypnagogic sleep state, hypnagogic from Greek hypnos meaning sleep and agogos meaning leading, leading to sleep. The key drops, hits the plate, startles you awake. The rejection of reason and logic, rules that bind, the opposite of surrealism. Hand-painted dream photographs, Dali tapping into the imagery of the subconscious, bringing swirlings of the mind to life with paint, melting clockworks, heated wax, flowing like the waves of time, drifting away fluid as the current. Perhaps it's slowing, or time has no meaning. Sleep suspends us just outside reality, locked away, tethered to the rose that levitates up above. Pristine perfection in brilliance, nature makes no mistakes. Shatter the containment of time and reality. The laws of this universe can't hold us here. In our dream state, endless possibilities await.
Hi, I'm Jessica Lee McMillan, and I will be reading Décollage. After takeoff, understanding the aerial view is like diagnosing your own lunacy. To unstick from the moon-dipped rhythm, supernova counterpoise, pulling seams, undressing the suit, the skin of the gallery, so groundless without weight, heat stripped to beating dimensions are fragments of psychic glue, revealing old print under torn wallpaper, found poetry, spelling new words, text shrapnel like starlight transmission breaking through from the past. When you excavate creation, have you lost its original image or multiplied its infinity? When you take off into space, you lift an entity from earthly possession, anchorless in marginal remains, a new crossing that renovates, leaving the rocket in shambles, drifting in a reverie cage.